Hello and welcome everyone to a very special CPL 7 quarterfinals cast. And I have a very special guest as my co-caster today, a certified pro gamer in Brood War. G5, say hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's been a long week, but happy to get to some casting and there's there's been a special announcement this week. In the Blizzard forums, we're actually getting a new ladder map pool. And
I, oh, go ahead.
oh, I gotta say, like the current map pool has been in rotation for like 7 or 8 months. It's so incredibly stale. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to this.
I am. I am as well. I am curious what maps they're going to use for the new pool, because they could pick some awful ones. So I don't know. Uh, I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know. I reserve
Well,
judgment.
what they did for the current map pool is they picked the ASL map pool, which is ASL 10, I believe, which has benzene and plasma and so on. So what I'm hoping is that they choose the latest ASL 12 map pool. That looks like a delight to play on. It's got like Poly, Eclipse, Ascension, and it's got some weird ones like Lemon as well, but it's not like a lot of weird maps. Most of them are quite standard. So I'm hoping that they repeat what they did for the last season and reuse the ASL map pool.
That'd be cool. I'd really wish they just like I'm okay with some modern maps, but I'd really like to see some like old old maps come back. Like Blue Storm is so fun. I don't know anyone who hates that map. Like there's just like a few there's a few that you can't go wrong with for most people, and they're fun. They're not just like Fighting Spirit, Circuit Breaker, Polypoid, like but I don't know. We'll see. The thing is with the ASL maps, they are fun. They're really cool. Um, some of them aren't like. I'm a venture to say lots of them aren't very balanced, except for some of the ones like Polyboid. Um, just because they are kind of unique and fun. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious what they pick. I hope the God Plasma's out though.
Yeah, no more plasma. Like what I do on that map when I hit it on ladder, I just gamble a 2 gate proxy on one of the 3 sections and hope I hit that 50-50 chance just to get it over
Yeah.
and done with as fast as possible. But
Yeah,
enough of
I almost
the
never hit it.
Africa Star League and more about the Coach-Pupil Star League, if I may. We've got the quarterfinals and it's tier 0, so some higher level play in terms of the CPL skill base. And I think we'll find that, players generally prepare for these matches a lot more than typical, like during the in-season. Um, though I did leave mine to the very last day to do my practice on. But, the stakes are higher for these games. It's not like the in-season, so I'm looking forward to what we're going to see today.
Yeah, tier zero players too, because I've been a coach a few times. They just seem to, well, first off, they're better than the other players, but lots of them seem to actually really care about improving and stuff, and actually practice for these games. So there should be some good games. There should be. Quick note on the map stuff in StarCraft, real quick, because Thunder Dragon. I see you're saying really. I thought they gave up on StarCraft. Now, rest assured, Thunder Dragon, they will not give up on StarCraft. All right, I'm sure there's one or two unpaid interns that are taking care of us, so you really don't have to worry about it, all right, buddy? It'll be all right.
I mean, we did get that flying SCV fix. It just took a bit longer than expected, just like with
You only had
the
like,
ladder map pull.
yeah, you probably had one or two people on it. That's it.
If you're an intern, like you don't know shit, right? You're learning, and then you're thrown in
Yeah,
this position
it
of
it took them a while to Google the code and figure out how to fix the flying SUV. It took a couple months. It was a self-taught job. They did it though, and it was good. Worked out.
they did. All right, I've got that lobby host if you want to join.
All right. Who we got first? Oh, can we say real quick? So Fear Factory against Attitude
Attitude
Plus.
plus, yeah.
Who's the coaches for that?
Let me look up the team liquid thread. Got it open here.
I'm
The
curious if I'll
coaches for
see something
Fear
play.
Factory is Eternum, Medino, Pado, and Shad. And the
All right.
coaches for Attitude Plus is Brochette, Chauffeur, Unco, and Keen. Some of those names
Rough.
I recognize, have been on the team with previously.
Yeah, like Keen. I was on a team with him before.
I was on Samyang with Keen. Alright, I'll get this game
Yeah.
started.
Let's do it. This is awesome. No mirror matchups. Let's
That's what I
go.
like to see. Though I don't mind PvP. Over in the bottom left, spawning as the yellow Zerg, we have Persian Zerg. And over in the bottom right, I think that's the light green, we have Too Sexy for You.
Nice.
PvZ on
Oh,
Polyploid, I always like it. It usually produces pretty interesting games. They tend to be a little bit more macro based than say Eclipse. I find they tend to go for a bit longer.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting what the Protoss does. Just because people are learning, CPL is about learning, and I'm curious, is he gonna go for a gateway first or a forge first? Because if he just wants to play safe, get into the next stage of the game, we'll probably see a forge first, and that's gonna lean heavily into a macro game.
I think it
But
will be a Forge
gateway's
first.
modern. Yeah. I mean, we're not seeing a probe sent out yet, so it looks like it.
We're not seeing an
Looks like it might be
Overlord built by Persians. Like I think he's going to do a 9 hatch.
Is that a thing?
Oh, sorry, this isn't Polyploid. It's Fighting Spirit. The mains look very similar at the start.
Oh, it is Fighting Spirit. It's been a while since I've been on this map.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about old maps before. I guess FS would qualify as one of those.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Forge, and we have a 9 hatch.
So 9 hatch,
Oof.
not the most standard Zerg opener. I find it can allow the Zerg to pump a lot of lings earlier than expected, and if you don't recognize it as a 9 hatch or a 10 hatch and it looks like a 12 hatch, that can catch you off guard. At least sometimes it does when I play Gate Expand.
I mean, as Protoss, you're conditioned from ladder to enter every single PVZ just thinking, all right, what's it gonna fucking be? What all in's coming? Is it gonna be Lings? Is it gonna be Hydra? Is it gonna be Quick Muta? What's happening? Because 10% of the time or less, it's actually macro play. So, I mean, I don't know what this does for Zerg because you're gonna be looking for Lings. You're gonna be looking for this sort of stuff. I don't know. It's interesting. I guess it gets an expo up and wrecks like proxy gates, but if someone's proxy gating or four pulling in CPL, a league where we're all here to learn, like you need to take a break. You need to go somewhere else real quick. That should not be happening.
But the stakes are a bit higher because you don't want your team to get knocked out of the quarterfinals. So perhaps
Uh,
cheese is more justified in this kind of situation here.
Maybe this is why none of my teams have like ever won CPL, but I would disown and stop coaching someone if they just all end every single game. There's no point. Like in these actual matches, like play a game. Like I like what we're seeing here. And this Protoss, too sexy for you, is making sure that a game is going to be played with this with these two cannons.
That's right, he went
So,
two cannons before the gate actually, which is interesting. I think you could play a bit more optimized against 9 hatch, but I'm not too sure. What's your take on it?
well, I mean, you mean doing the two cannons beforehand?
Yeah, like Forge, Nexus, and two cannons.
Yeah, I mean, you can be more optimized than that, but he's probably just. If you're gonna get away with stuff, you have to keep the probe alive in the main. You have to be scouting for Ling, scouting for Hydra, and keeping track of it. Like that's the only way you can really get away with less cannons. But because he was kind of denied and pushed out, and now his probe's gone. It's okay getting the second cannon. It's totally fine. Zerg's doing a weird build. Like, so it's 9 hatch, 9 pool. It's a quick
It's 2
layer
hatch
into
Muta
Spire. It
from a
is.
9
So
hatch. That is quite unusual.
this is basically all in. And I'm not sure how quick this actually was, because as you can see, the Stargate's already getting up, and the cannon's getting up in the main. Like, interesting. The third cannon's getting up. It looks like Protoss basically just said, I'm not gonna continue scouting. I'm just going to make a third cannon, and I'm going to make cannon the main and be safe against everything. It's gonna work out this time for him. Ooh, this goon. It's gonna work out for him this time, but the problem with just saying I'm gonna be safe against everything and not scouting or attempting to scout, keep track of Zerg, is if this was Drone Man, he basically just wrecks you.
Whoa, this goon is going on a crash course straight into the main. It doesn't get the scout off. Maybe that's a misrally there. It's a bit unusual to send it like that.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But if he was paying attention, seeing this second extractor at the natural this early should trigger, oh, he's going Muta. And he's not even scouting with the Corsair. This is so weird. Like, if I hit someone in a ladder game who played like this, I would probably be saying he's hacking. I'm not saying that he's hacking, but like this is so weird. I don't. You got like as Protoss, like you have to see what Zerg's doing, and it's kind of weird that he's not. I think it's just because.
Well, he did get that scout with the goon, right? He saw the second extractor. He's probably ruling out 3 base. It looks like 2 base.
He did. If that was intentional, that was an interesting play. And here comes the Muta. Alright. Nice play with the Muta. And the Scourge zoning out the Corsairs. Alright.
Nice control, but we've lost the cannon in the main. However, that's 5 Mutalisks against 3 Sairs plus goon support. I don't think the Mutas can do that much. He is rallying more over, however, but I kind of like Persian Zerg's, sorry, too sexy for his position here.
Well, yeah, he's way ahead. The Zerg basically did an all-in. Like, you can't be 2 base against 2 base. You can't be 2 base Zerg against 2 base Protoss for this long and expect to win the game. You're just gonna get rolled in the mid game. So when you do a build like this, you have to do damage, and if you don't, as he didn't, well, you're kind of screwed. So
yeah, he's in a bit of an iffy state. I see the Den coming up for Persian Zerg, and I assume that's going to be straight to lurkers, to kind of hold anything that Too Sexy can do. We don't see a robotics coming up, so it might give him a way back into the game, perhaps.
So he's just going Hydras, getting Hydra speed, getting plus.
Oh, he's going straight Hydras on 2 base.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Yeah, maybe these players have like a history together, because Too Sexy for You was he went Goon, Cannon, Sair, and just that, or maybe he's just very used to mutas coming in. He just prepares. But
He went
yeah,
suicidal goon cannon Seth, it
he
seems.
did. Yeah, and Zerg finds a little pocket here, picks off some probes, which is nice. That's good.
We have a pylon block at the 9 o'clock, that's really cute. Only the drone and probe there, so it is somewhat effective at denying that hatchery.
Yeah, and we got DT coming out for the Protoss. Protoss finally heading out into the map with the Sayers. Now he has 5 of them. You actually do need 6 to kill Scourge without the +1.
Yeah, that's right. Do you think he should have researched it? I kind of feel like he should have.
Uh, you can or you can't. Most Protosses will say like get it. For me, I'm just like or you can get another Sayer. Like it's ticky tacky, one or the other. But
I guess it's only 50
yeah,
minerals extra for that extra Sare.
yeah, and it takes so long to upgrade. I don't know. It's still up to you. It's probably better to get the +1, but yeah. I mean, he was also putting a bunch of gas into goons and stuff. But it looks like he's just powering up on 2 base. He probably should invest in some more gateways. But yeah, he's powering up on 2 base. Zerg is on 2 base. He's taking a third finally, but it's up at 12 o'clock. Kind of interesting. So
Given his given the Zerg's pretty awkward position, I think going for that 12 o'clock is a you need to take a risk to get back into the game, and that's what he's choosing to do. However, the DT strolls straight up to it. Some good presence of mind from 260 for you here.
And I like how he's not attacking it. He's waiting until there's drones there. And I also like the fact that he's being extra sneaky. Not only is he cloaked, he's also hiding behind a tree. That's like double camouflage.
Yeah, I guess it gives that mischance. I'm guessing he actually wants the hatch to finish here, and then he can just immediately attack it with the DT.
Well, we got Hydras pushing the front, but boy, there's just way too many storms here, and ouch, that's a big storm.
So it's moving forward, closing in on these Hydras, and God, Persian Zerg is he's so down in workers, down in tech, down in everything really. It's playing out like we thought it would on that 2 base.
Yeah, you can't be 2 base with a Protoss for this long. 2 base against 2 base is never good for Zerg, so yeah, this is kind of what we expected. We see 47 supply to 114. And he knows about 12 o'clock. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but game's pretty much over. Unless Protoss basically messes up somehow. And I always think like the best thing a Zerg can do when they're behind. I mean, it's always like you never know, right? Like some situations are different than others, but like in this situation, if you go for like a quick muta and it fails, like what you said earlier, going into lurkers, which you thought he was gonna do,
Yeah.
that's probably the right play, just because the last piece of tech that Protoss typically gets is Robo with Ob, so you can kind of delay any push that they do, and you can be really efficient with lurkers, and it's really hard, especially for like lower ranked Protosses to deal with. If you're good at like sniping Obs and all sorts of stuff, you can be really efficient with lurkers and crawl your way back into a game.
Yeah, that's right. And then, like, after you're dealing with too much muta, right, you spend a lot of your gas into Sare. The next thing you're going to spend it into is Templars. It's not a robo with obs, so they will be more delayed than the lurkers. That's why I did think the lurkers would come out there, and that's something you've actually done to me in ZVP in some of our games.
Yeah, because it's just as you said. You're gonna get those stairs because you see Muta, and then your next thing that you're gonna get is Templar and Storm, because you have to respect Hydras, and Robo's the last thing, and then Robo plus Observatory plus Obs. Like, I mean, it's a lot of gas until you get to that point, and so gives Zerg a big window to either um, catch up economically, and then you know go from there and try trading efficiently. And Lurkers are like the trade efficient unit um, that Zerg has, other than Defilers.
Looks like 6 views throwing a Nexus down the top right. As far as hidden bases go, do you think 12 o'clock was a good decision? For some reason, I could see like 3 o'clock is like, it's kind of like the last base you'd expect them to take. Like I know when I'm in these spawns, Protoss, I actually like expanding towards the Zerg. It segues nicely to the 6 o'clock expansion, not the 3 o'clock.
I'm I'm good with 12 o'clock. I mean, if it gets scouted, it gets scouted. But like, it's one of those things where it's so far away from the Protoss main that if they do attack it, like especially if they like full on commit to it, it can open up other opportunities for your army to do like a counterattack and do base races, something like that. It's just, I don't know, if I'm gonna sneak a base, I like it to be really far away. If I was sneaking a base, I probably would have chose top right. But 12's alright too. Like either of those is fine.
Yeah, and the Persians are kind of, 2-6 for you had committed like a decent amount of his army to the 12, and he just kind of waltzed Hydras, and it's amazing how fast cannons just fall to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have 5 drones mining in the main. It's a lot of the natural. But you basically have like 1.5 bases mining right now for Zerg. Ross is fully saturated at 2, about to be on 3. Big bank, 3 times the supply. He probably should make like, I don't know, 10 more gateways, or 8 more gateways or something. But yeah, I mean, he's just gonna walk over him at this point. But I mean, it was a unique build from Zerg. Like, it really was. Like, he just needed to get damage done with those Muta, and didn't. I feel like this is all just a ripple effect from the early build order decisions.
That's right. Not being able to accomplish any damage with the 2 base has led us to this position where we have some very, I'd say, mismatched drone saturation with the main and natural as well. And this is where you're desperate for like any minerals possible.
Oh! Comes Protoss. He has stormed for days. He has 3 storms on a lot of these Templar.
I want to see a storm in the drone plane.
Ooh. You saw it. There it was.
I saw it. It was the edge
massive.
though. It wasn't right in the middle where I wanted it to be, but it's still satisfactory.
You got 2 of them.
And GG comes out from our Zerg player.
GG. You know what I would tell people when they're trying to like learn a matchup or learn the game, especially like newer players, is like kind of like forget about everything past 9 minutes and just like focus on the first 8-9 minutes, because that's gonna decide the game basically, more often than not. And even though this game was 17 minutes long, it was decided probably within 6. But yeah, it was interesting. It was a good hold from the Protoss for sure.
Yep, I've got the new lobby up for game 2.
I am in there.
Great, let's get started. Over in the olive, is that olive in the top left, G5?
Yes.
It's the olive Protoss. We have 260 for you. Curious to see, should he go, you know, next first, I think is viable on this map as well, because of the longer distance. Interested to see what he does, but over in the bottom right we have our blue Zerg, Persian Zerg.
So, Chill, you play Protoss, right?
That's right.
Alright, pretend you're a Zerg player, okay? Put yourself in the Zerg player's shoes, alright? You just did 9 hatch, quick muta, 9 hatch, 9 pool, quick muta. It got absolutely wrecked. What do you do in this game?
You know, gee, it's hard to think like a Zerg. Like, I want to get 12 hatch, but if he pylon scouts, the probe can block it guaranteed, right? Because it's a 2-player map. So I think I go with like overpool, or maybe 9 pool no gas.
And the actual answer is 7 pool.
7
So
pool.
that's what we're saying here. Yeah. 7 pool. I love 7 pool. I don't like the fact that he's put drones to mineral patches that are already mining, but I love 7 pool.
Tell
You
me
know
about
why
7
I love
pool.
7 pool? 7 pool gets there before a normal cannon is up, but it looks like a 9 pool to most processes.
Right, you'd
And
need
so
to count the drones though, wouldn't you? That's what you need to do.
Yeah, but how often do you see 7 pool?
Like never.
Never. You're not even
Well, at
thinking
least
about
I
it.
think I never see it, but maybe I only think that because I don't know how to identify it.
You're not even thinking about it. Like,
That's right.
so these lings, like typically speaking, when a Protoss will do cannon first, like these will actually get there beforehand, and Protosses don't actually pull enough probes to stop it. Now this map though is so long, these cannons are probably gonna get up. But in a normal map, imagine these were going bottom left. They would hit right before the cannons were up.
Right, that's where you bust out the 7 pool with a normal rush distance.
That's where you bust out simple. But he got bamboozled by this long ass map.
Yeah,
like
this would have gone differently had it been a shorter rush distance.
Yeah, 7 pool is awesome. But yeah, this is a crazy long rush distance. That's the only reason he got bamboozled. But
and this probe's going to get a scout of more and more lings, so you can only see him preparing more. I think the way he's done his natural sim is there's going to be a gap between the forge and the gate on the right as well as on the left. You can do this with just a 2-unit gap with forge on bottom and gate on top, but the sim is a bit off.
Yeah, it's okay though. He can just block with probes. He just needs to move one over to touch that gateway, like right between that gateway and forge.
That's right.
Which is kind of hard, but there is a
we've got
gap there.
speedlings, and he is doing what I mentioned. He's coming through.
Not like this.
Dives onto the cannon here. One cannon still quite a bit of HP on there, and the lings are getting cleaned up.
Those lings got wrecked so hard they look like StarCraft 2 Zerglings. Jesus. All right. And he just keeps making lings.
They wrap in as well and dive onto that one cannon. If this cannon goes down, he's not going to have any available to hit the lings. A couple lings still alive, going on that last cannon. No, he's switching to the probes and he's going into the main. Speedlings in the main is not something you ever want as Protoss.
It's okay if they're going to let you kill him though. There it is.
That's right, multitasking.
Save the cannon. Alright, he gets it up. He gets it up,
but there's only one ling in the main.
We don't care about one ling.
We don't care. We care about 2 lings in the main, right? That's when we care about
2. That's when we care. We don't care about... You can just send 2... Oh, look at him! He sent 2 probes like a pro. Okay. Pull him back. There we go. Oh, I love it so much. Like one of my pet peeves is losing to some dumb shit like this, which is mass slings run by my horrible walls because I make the worst walls in the world.
Yeah.
And when it gets shut down, it feels so good. But he keeps making lings. We need probes. Probes blocking. Make a wall.
Yeah, I would be
Make a
sealing up that
wall.
wall. You know he's on like no drones at all. You know he's only been consistently pumping these lings. I want to see a probe between the forge and
Overlord.
gateway. Oh, the lings do manage to sneak by. There is more than 2 this time. He's gotten 3 into the main, and we don't have a pylon up to build an emergency cannon either. This time Persian Zerg is controlling his lings a bit better than before. Oh, but he's back down to 1 ling and it's on no health. Here is the Protoss. I just put like 1 probe and just sick it on that low HP ling and you're good.
I mean, he's good right now. Like 6 drones. He supply blocked himself. We're on, okay. 9 drones, 3 hatch.
5 drones at the moment.
Oh, 5 drones. Sorry, 9 supply. 5 drones. I was looking at supply. Oh my god. So, 5 drones, 3 hatch.
I think he's going to be, you know, not double downing at this point. It's triple downing with those 3 hatches and just pumping lings off his 6 drone economy. That's what I would expect to see here. It looks like he's actually making drones.
There it is. There's some drones. Here we go. Chill.
So,
who do you think's winning here?
Very, very clearly the Protoss. We're back on the same situation that we kind of ended up in the first game where, you know, the 2 base has been off. Well, really, this is 1 base to start with, but it's 2 base Zerg, 2 base Protoss. Protoss has been running those 2 bases for a while. I think, what would you do as the Zerg here?
I mean, I would have GG'd a while ago. I would have GG'd as soon as like this failed. But he's going for a den, so it looks like he's just gonna go for a Hydra bust off 2 base. Hydras are good. It's possible. I don't mind. So last game I didn't like the cannon in the main that early because the timing was off. Yeah. This time I don't mind it, and the only reason I don't mind it is sometimes when you see quick speedlings and a ling all in, there's a quick layer with a spire all in behind it that could hit before Stargate. We don't have that this game, but especially after what we saw last game with quick 2 base Muta. Yeah, I like that play. That's a nice safe play. But yeah, it's looking pretty dicey for Zerg, and Zerg looks like he's just gonna make Hydras from here and nothing but. Citadel Doom just goes down, so we're not gonna have speed for a long time. Now, I'm curious if he sends out the Corsair now, because he should have sent it out last game. Worked out they did because it was against Muta. This game he needs to go see.
I agree. Let's see what he does.
He may not need to, but he should.
Well, he didn't have the Sacrificial Goon in place of the Corsair Scout this game, so maybe that's why he's deciding to send the Corsair out.
That's true. Now, folks, if you do send a Corsair out to go scout, go in the path that Hydras would come so you can see if they're being rallied to your base. It looks like he is going to scout it. He got enough safety cannons up that's going to work out in his favor. And yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good for us. You should know exactly
what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on, adding some more cannons. I'm surprised he didn't start +1 a bit earlier. He hasn't started any upgrades.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Oh.
We don't have range on the Hydras, and this is kind of like the diagonal sim. Yeah, he calls it there. He's not going to get anything accomplished there. Very decisive 2-0 from our Protoss player here.
All right. All right. So Attitude Plus goes down the first game. Fear Factory is up 1-0. Good job to Too Sexy for You. Too Sexy for You. Playing for the mid game. Trying real builds. Good job, buddy.
You know,
Those look
I
good.
rate cheese in a best of series. I think it's good to do. Perhaps not both games if your opponent has handled it quite nicely in the first game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with cheese and tournament play and stuff like that, but yeah, maybe one game. It's, I mean, this is a coach pupil. It's like to learn.
But it's
Like
the
this.
quarterfinals, G5. We got to throw that learning argument out the door when it reaches this
Uh,
point.
I'm sorry, but could you remind me how many dollars are at stake here? What's the stakes?
The stake is your pride. That's what's
Okay.
at stake.
And how prideful does that Zerg feel right now?
Not too
How
prideful, I
proud is
imagine.
he? If I was his coach, I would not be proud at all. I'd be like, I'm trying to teach you real games, and you throw out 2 all-ins. Don't do that.
It's a good thing you're not his coach. We'll say that.
If I was his coach, he'd already be out. He wouldn't be playing right now.
But remember, if your team
My
loses in the
team's out.
quarters, you're not playing in the next match, right? Your team's knocked out completely. You do it for your team, and he did what he thought would be best. But moving on into this current series, we've got Pandor as the purple Terran in the top left against AOT. Is that light green in the bottom left?
I think it's like teal or
Teal. No, teal's the default
green.
color when you shift tab. Yeah, we'll say light green. What do you think of Pandor's depot placement here? It's fine for like Lings in the future, I'm guessing.
What do I think of his?
The depot placement against the minerals.
Oh, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. It's just out of the way. Now, I don't know Pandora, but I know AOT. And AOT is a good Zerg player. He's gonna throw out some real stuff. This is gonna be a good game from him.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm interested to see if Pandor's going to react when he sees the 12 hatch with you can go 15 command center, right? When you first scout with the SCV. See if that's what he does.
Yeah. Alright, so he sees Hatchery first with a pool behind. Curious if we're going to see a gas from the Zerg or he's going to go for a third hatch. Whether he's going to go 3 hatch or he's going to go for 2 hatch is going to be interesting. But
yeah, you don't see the 3 hatch style used as much as it used to be back in the day these days.
It's definitely not meta. It's good. I like it though. It's different. It's like you're not relying so much on Muta. You kind of make Muta enough just to get a third up, and you rush lurkers. Larva actually would do it quite a bit, but it is actually going to be a 3 hatch. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like it.
We don't see it
And
enough. It's good to. It's almost refreshing, right?
It is. It's refreshing, just like this new season. Hopefully, will be if they don't screw up the map pool. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, AOT's just he's droning. He sees everything with the Overlord. He's not scared of anything moving out. Aaron was doing great with the SUV scout, keeping track how many lings are being made. Not many, so he's like, yeah. He actually wasn't making Marines for a while and kept making SUVs, focused more on his infrastructure and getting up to CC faster because he correctly scouted and determined that he didn't need units because Zerg wasn't making them. So, great play from both players. This is looking like a good game.
Yeah, both openings by both players quite optimized, I would say.
And AOT, the seasoned CPL vet that he is, makes a lair at the natural so that the Terran doesn't see the timing of it.
Right, with
What a
the
god.
SCV. Very clever.
Yeah, and Terran just gets up a bunker, so he doesn't have to worry about much. He's getting his +1 already. Academy is going up. Probably gonna see a couple more barracks being thrown down later, but good job, coaches. Good job, players. Like, these are legit really good openings.
We're basically watching ASL 12 right here, G5.
Yeah, if you told me, if you just like took out the names and told me that this was Queen against you know, Rush, I'd be like, okay.
Well, you'd look at the APM maybe and be like, nah, not possible.
I don't know. We got 205 against 250. I mean, yeah, it's a bit, it's slow for him, but that's still not bad. Like, all right, you
Yeah,
know.
no, quite impressed. All right, the lair finishes and immediately the spy comes down. Once again, it's at the natural. Put it on Panda's
Yeah,
vision.
SUV can't see it yet. SUV doesn't see it. Doesn't know.
Scouring
He
around
could
the back of the
probably.
minerals. I think at this point you would check the natural, right? You'd know something's up. Mineral
Yeah.
walking
Oh my
SCV.
God, so many lings. Okay, he doesn't see all the lings. He sees about half of them. All right, so we have a speedlings are gonna crash in, and this is an interesting play. If he skipped this bunker, it may have worked out better, but I mean, Terran is just solid right now, and he's going for a 5 racks. So I'm loving it. 5 racks basically tells you he thinks it's Muta, and he just scanned right at the natural, sees it's Muta. It's confirmed. He's gonna start throwing up turrets, and AOT is gonna have to deal with 5 racks. Like, he's gonna have trouble getting up this third.
Right, 5x +1 is kind of the classic response to the 3-hatch meter play, isn't it?
Yeah, do you see how quick this +1's gonna be? Do you see it?
Yeah, his turrets are just coming up now, and the +1's almost already done.
This is a crazy build from this Terran. It's so good. Oh, and he's moving out. He's like, ah, you know what? +1's about to finish. I'm gonna send my units on over. Good luck dealing with that. And he's just gonna reinforce. This Terran's good. Like,
Where
I
do you send
AOT.
your MM ball here? Just to the nat, or do you like scour around for the third?
I mean, I would send it to Nat, force Sunks, and make a judgment call whether you think you can take it or not. And if not, then you send it to the third. But yeah, like, both players are doing this really well. I like Terran's build a little bit more, but just because it kind of counters what Zerg's doing. But for a 3-hatch, like, this is perfect from AOT. Like, you need to start lurkers pretty soon here.
Panda
You have
looking to
to
pressure
rush
the
those.
nat a bit, and he has scanned the bottom right as well, so he knows exactly
Oh,
what's going on. We've got no sunks
there's
up here.
those dunks. But it looks like there's gonna be enough Zerg.
We do have enough of a link flank and muters to quite
Yeah.
cleanly clean up that
Terran,
ball of MM.
yeah, Terran was kind of in a line there as opposed to being, balled up. So everything getting picked off there. And that resets everything. So now AOT is in a great position because third will get up now.
Would
I don't
that
know if
played
you
out differently if it was balled up? Like, would the MM have a chance of actually...
It would have traded a lot more, and reinforcements would have a shot right now.
Yeah.
But as it sits, it doesn't have much of a shot. One thing that's interesting though is it looks like Lurker wasn't upgraded, and I think that was an accident.
Because he's got the den.
Yeah, he got the den early when you should get the den, because the Mias are just there to be around long enough just to buy time for lurkers.
Yeah, and
So
we've
you
got
can
the
get your third
two.
up.
We've got the two
Yeah,
hydras in the bottom right. You know, you want to move
yeah.
into the ramp and start the morphing.
He just realized it. So lurkers are being upgraded now.
Oof.
Lurkers would be done right now. So now he's kind of in a panic mode, and he'll basically do anything that he can to delay a push from Terran right now.
Yeah, I guess there's no way of knowing his pan or that he's just completely missed that upgrade. Otherwise, you just A-click the Marines to the bottom right.
Yeah, there's no. If you're Terran, you assume it's up.
Yeah.
Like you never assume someone forgets it. So, and like I don't even blame Terran for not moving out because how would you know?
You wouldn't.
Yeah, like you just more often than not, 99% of the time you're just walking out into potential hold lurkers at this point. But I'll tell you, see this gas bank? When that lurker upgrade's done in a second, we're gonna have a bunch of morphin lurkers.
Right, and he's going straight to Hive, so I think the Den and Defilers will be the Ultra Den and Defilers will be joining
Yeah.
shortly.
And here goes the lurkers, and they are
That's a lot
gonna.
of lurkers.
Yeah, it looks like they should be in time. Are they? Yeah, yeah. Zerg's trying to delay here with the Muta. Oh, that was close.
Right on cue, the lurkers have finished hatching, and with only one vessel here and enough for one irradiate, it's not going to be too much Panda can do.
Clearly, he just knew the timing perfectly and just didn't need it
That's right.
earlier.
You know, maybe AOT intentionally got lurker aspect later.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He was gonna get lurker, and then he was like, you know, I'm looking at this game. I don't need it yet. Alright, so we got 2 lurkers up this ramp. Looks like there's enough for one irradiate.
One irradiate,
leave
yeah.
only one lurker. He could bust here. He really could bust.
Really?
And
Do you want to challenge that one lurker? It could be more than one lurker, like Burrow Clump, couldn't it? Or is there a way of checking that?
you send a marine.
You just send one Marine, yeah, you're right. Stim one up there.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. Oh, and additional vessels joining here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gonna bust
He's
this
gonna
third.
bust it.
Wow. And
Meanwhile, a
AOT's just
counterattack
going for
from
a
AOT.
base strat. Oh boy. They're both at 100 supply.
A lot of lurkers, lings, and mutas moving into the natural. Handle definitely
Oh my
scrambling to hold this. Lurkers getting closer
God.
and closer.
Holy Scourge, Batman. What? Oh, this bunker
think he's-
barely survives? What?
The lurkers are just out of range of that bunker, but we have the Ling flood joining. I'd like to see those lurkers moving a bit closer, but the vessels from the bottom right have joined back up with the army of Panda in the top left.
You made 10 million Scourge, but the
Use
vessels
them.
get their irradiates off.
It's an injustice that all 3 vessels didn't die when you've made like 20 Scourge.
Well, it goes back to that age-old question, like how many Scourge does it take to actually kill a vessel? And apparently the answer is 20.
Well, it was 2 vessels, but yeah.
Okay.
It's a very philosophical question you've posed here.
Yeah. Terran's in a great spot. Like
He is.
Yeah, he smashed that counterattack, killed the third. If you're Terran here, you're expecting to win this game. It's the Filer's coming with consume, and with the Filers, anything is possible. But he does need a third gas. Thankfully for this map, he can get one pretty quick, and only have 2 spots to really defend. but he needs to take 9 o'clock like now, because you have to get another gas ASAP.
Looking a bit grave for AOT. I was thinking maybe a way of coming back is somehow sneaking like a Defiler and some army to
Oh!
Pandor's Natural, but even that's a big ask here.
And the name of the game, if you're Terran right now, is just keep him off a third, especially keep him off a fourth. Keep your vessels alive and just trade with irradiates. A lot of lurkers going down there. Yeah, if you just keep vessels alive at this point in the game, you just out trade Zerg because they'll never mine enough gas to compete.
Right, and he only needs, you know, a mere 60 Scourge for those 3 vessels.
Right. Oh, no, 30. 30.
30? Okay. That's the
30.
ratio we're going? Because before it was 20. 20
Well,
to
it
1.
was 20. I thought it was 20 to 1,
But
then
it's
you
20
said
to
it's
2.
20 to
Yeah,
2.
we're getting the ratios
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so it's 10 to each vessel. Alright, but now it's up to 50 because we have 5 vessels. Oh boy. Oh, is he gonna get... One vessel goes down. And he backs up Terran a bit, but Terran is... Do you see this M&M ball at the third?
At the third. Yeah, I do. Just sitting on the ramp, waiting for a little drone to
That's
skedaddle
so
up
good.
it.
That's so good. Alright. We got lurkers coming up. Man, he's just... Terran's everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh, picks off a lurker at 12, backs off.
He is
Oof.
positioning his clumps of MMs quite nicely over the map. I'm very impressed by Panda's play this game. He's done his homework.
Yeah, Pandor is looking very good. There's that flock of vessels.
Yeah, to be honest, it feels like there should be a bit more vessels here.
Is that what you call like a big group of vessels? A flock?
A flock? I call anything
Murder.
that's flying. I just use flock as the plural. It's just fitting.
It is fitting.
Though it does seem a bit off for a mechanical kind of unit like a vessel.
Swarm.
Would you say a flock of Corsairs?
No, I'd just say like group of course.
I'd say a fleet of
A
Corsairs.
fleet.
Yeah.
A fleet. There you go.
So would we then say a fleet of vessels?
I'm gonna take your lead on it because you speak an English more similar to how it's supposed to be than me.
What do you mean?
It's more similar to like British English.
Ah, right. Americans speak wrong, everyone. That's G5 informing everyone.
I speak bastardized country rebel fucking English.
AOT kind of holding on for DLF here. It's not looking good, and he's kind of desperately going for the 6 o'clock expansion.
I mean, he's doing what he can, but look at these vessels,
So
man.
many vessels.
It's like, see a lurker, see a lurker, see a lurker. Oh, here comes the Scourge. See a more gas. And they just get too efficient. And we still are on 2 gas. How you kill a Terran is with ultras. You need 4 gas for that. We're eons away from that. Terran is up to 4 base now. And you got double the bases and double the supply right now. It's looking rough.
I mean, if we inverted the races here, that's what it should be looking like, right? 4 base Zerg versus 2 base Terran.
Well,
It would look like it makes more sense.
It looked like it makes more sense, and I would say that Zerg's probably gonna win. It's really hard for Terran when Zerg gets on 4 base or 4 gas. Terrans basically will do everything they can to prevent that fourth gas. 'Cause that fourth gas means death.
What do you do when a Zerg secured their fourth gas? They've got their, ultra upgrades, Carapace, Defiler, Crackling.
And I probably went all in trying to prevent that, and
The game's over
if
before
they,
that.
the game's done by the time they get that. You're just going through the semantics. GG, honestly well played by both, but great play by Terran.
Yeah, very well played by Pandal there. AOT started strong and then he kind of lost it a little as it moved into the mid game.
A murder of Vox. Sounds good. That's funny. Yeah. If I was AOT, I would literally just be like, I'd look at that game and I'd just say to myself, "Fuck, this is gonna be hard," because that was really good play.
Very much so.
Really good play. All right.
All right, the run back with Pandor is a very impressive Terran spawning in the top left, and AOT is the yellow Zerg in the bottom right. The question that's been posed in chat is Attitude plus just the Artosis logo. Is it? Do you know the Artosis logo off the top of your head, G5? He's one of your dear friends, isn't he?
He is. I don't off the top of my head. I don't care enough. Although he told me back in the day, I was like, how the hell did you come up with Artosis? He was asking me how I killed G5. And he's just like, I just sat down and thought, like, what would be a good pro gamer name? And I came up with Artosis. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think I heard him speak about it on stream. He wanted to pick something that was completely unique. Yeah. And he accomplished that.
I mean, he's living the dream that, really his dream was like being a professional gamer, not a commentator. But like, he's been all in on StarCraft for a long time. Like, I remember when he was still living in his Nana's, his mom and Nana's like little like loft attic.
The attic at the top, yeah. It's in one of his, it's in that StarCraft quiz that came out, he's in that.
Oh, I've been there multiple times. I spent weeks there, back in the day. They, yeah, like it was literally just his room. He had a calendar with StarCraft events. He just had a bed and a computer, like a water gallon, like jug thing for like green tea, and he would just play StarCraft all day and just grind out for like an hour every day, like cent poker to like make a couple bucks, so you can go down like the Super Walmart and get like $1 Tony Crispy Crust pizzas and stuff like that.
He's living the dream, supporting himself with like scrap poker and to enable you to play more, like enable yourself to have the means to play StarCraft more. I respect that.
Now he's playing StarCraft, supporting like 5 billion kids and living in Korea. Like he made it work.
He did. He's one of the two foreigners who can make it work.
Yeah, that's true.
But moving back in this game, we see, is that an 8 racks from Panda, I believe? And it was positioned in a way where it's always going to get scattered by that drone when it comes in. Would it have been better to... Is it buildable to put it a bit lower? I think it might be.
I don't play this map, probably.
Yeah, you can build it at mineral only below the natural.
Yeah, AOT's try and delay it. Is 3 drones correct? I feel like you need...
He is pulling the boys here. Many drones drilling through.
And this should get cleaned up. But he's forcing lost mining time.
One drone, that's 2 drones. I think it's going to be a 3 drones.
And not the best drone micro here.
Yeah.
But you just have to get on 4. You got to get on top of those Marines, bud. You keep pulling away.
This is a very successful 8 racks. He's
6, 7.
Jesus Christ.
It's gonna be 8. It could have been 8. That was crazy. Alright, didn't cancel the bunker. But yeah, we're down to 7 drones against 14 SCVs. CC is about to be thrown down. That was a very without the only thing that could have been better is Zerg just died. But considering he didn't really go for an offensive 8 racks, the racks was like right there. He sent like the minimal amount of SCVs and did that much damage. That was super successful.
Very much so. And
Oh,
those
and all the
4
Lings die.
Lings from AOT just
Oh! He just snuck another one!
Oh my god. Did he send like
It's
a 2
fucking-
Marine hit squad there, or was it 1 Marine?
It was 1 Marine. It was fucking. Or no, it was 2. No, it was 1. It was fucking 007. I didn't even see him until he's in there. Jesus.
Need like the Mission Impossible music to go with that Marine. Except we'd get DMCA'd, so we're not going to do that.
Redbeard's asking Tasteless. Yes, Tasteless is the other foreigner that can support himself on StarCraft. There was only one other. I'd say there's probably only 2 other foreigners that can support themselves on StarCraft. Like StarCraft 1, if they really wanted to. Day 9 could, but he doesn't play it anymore. But he has a following that he could. And In Control, if he was still alive, could have.
Yeah, I think if you've got a big enough following when you're like a variety streamer, you can kind of stream anything and make a living off it, really.
Yeah. Idra could queue up today, and he would make a living off StarCraft 1 if he wanted to. There's a handful of them, but only 2 who are actually doing it.
All right, let's recalibrate our bearings back to this game. 3. Is this going to be a Ling all-in from AOT?
No, looks like he's
No?
making drones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say you 8 racks, right? And you get that damage done, and you've got these baller 007 Marines sniping, picking off drones. What's the follow-up here?
Normal game.
Normal game?
Very normal game.
Would you be more inclined to go like just 5 racks plus 1, or just...
I don't think I go 5 racks just because I might get like I might go 3 racks into factory plus 2 starports vessel, then into 5 racks, just getting my tech up a little bit sooner because I don't want to accidentally get punished by lurkers when I'm this ahead, so I'm gonna play a little safer. But either way is fine. But when you do damage like that, Zerg's less likely to go muta. So I would get the tech up a little bit faster, just so I'm safer against
from an all-in or something
big
like
game.
that?
Yeah, against lurkers. But he's crashing in here.
Perfect
Something's
timing
got
in
up
those
right
sync
in time.
timing, yeah.
Yeah. He is going lurker. So Terran hasn't scanned yet. There's the scan. He sees a Hydra den.
Yeah, you'll know what's up here.
Yeah, unless it's a fake one, which it isn't. But like,
That's right, there could be like a spire to the top of the other patch in the main, where you don't want to expend 3 scans to work out what the Zerg's doing. It's almost like a guessing game of where you need to scan.
And Terran just threw down the factory, so he's sure it's lurker. So, and he threw out 2 more racks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 racks with the factory. Oh boy! And if you're Terran here, if it's lurker, you just rally everything outside their natural. Tried delaying this push. I like the Lings running around though to catch reinforcements.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's a cute little move.
I think the cutest move was the 007 Marine there.
Well, yeah, that was
These
2000
things
IQ
heading
play.
into the natural, they're gonna not get much done here.
I
A
mean,
bit of
he
trouble.
even pulls back the Marines that were gonna die. Like, Terran's on top of it. I don't know who this Pandora kid is, but he is very good. definitely A rank from watching these 2 games.
I mean, maybe next season we'll see him eclipse the tier 0 kind of category into being a coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing like he could be one. Oh.
Handle just
gets
getting
down
his
the
MM
map.
out of range of those lurkers. And AOT trying to establish some map presence, but, you know, bleeding a lurker as he's trying to move out.
It gets rough here, because, like, I mean, maybe he just doesn't know how far behind he is, but he knows he's behind, otherwise he wouldn't be doing this. But he's been this sort of like an all-in, and you can tell because he's going all the way around, as opposed to just like securing a third. So, but when he sees this, he's gonna be very sad. Oh, Terran loses a couple Marines. Bunkers aren't up yet. Okay, he's gonna trade this out. Great splitting. Great targeting.
Very well controlled by Pandal there.
Yeah.
What was it like? A small clump of Marines for 4 lurkers?
Yeah. If I'm Zerg right now, I am sad. We have a vessel up pretty soon. We have tanks being made with siege. I think Terran's just gonna end the game with the push once his vessel's out.
Yeah, I really like the way Pandal's like, he's controlled so much outside the front nat of AOT with that MM ball. He's had it there for so long. And it's been a bit of a hindrance to him. Finally gonna get cleared up, but...
Is it though? Or is Micro just crazy? Look at these James Bond Marines. See ya, Hydra. See ya, Hydra. Oh, is there a lurker there? Ah, I'm gonna scan it and target it down.
The real James Bond Marine, he's dead. These guys are just posers.
Oh! He almost got that. That was pretty nice. Alright. That up. I mean, 84 supply to 52. Almost double workers at this point. We got Marine Medic +1, 2 tanks with siege, vessels coming out, radiate's coming. It's gonna be 1-1 by the time they attack. Man, this is rough. I think AOT is just gonna crash into this.
Yeah, AOT moving up from the south side, just doing a Hail Mary with this army and...
Oh, yeah, that's it. Wow, AOT's a really good Zerg player too.
Yeah. I've been on a team with him. He knows a lot about Zerg. He has a lot of knowledge.
He's really good ZVZ. Like I've seen him in like a few have at yous, like take out Tide 2 and some other players. Like he's good.
You know, he told me that that lava, the spawn time for them is randomized, which seemed a bit off to me. Like, is that true? Do you have the Zerg knowledge to know
that? It's randomized what?
Between like X seconds to X seconds. And I was thinking that can't be right.
No, that's not right.
Yeah. It's too much variance, right? Too much variance or randomization on something that's so fundamentally important.
Yeah, that can't be right. I've never heard that before, and I just can't imagine that being right. It's definitely not right when it comes to like the first 3, because I've played enough Zerg to know the first 3 always come at the same time. So why would that change?
Yeah, someone in chat saying it is true.
How's it true?
Don't know. Need some clarification.
Is it between like 1 second or something?
That's an acceptable amount of variance. You know, there really isn't that much randomness in StarCraft. Like we've got the high chance miss percentage.
Oh, is there a scan? All right, there we go.
There is indeed. God, if there wasn't the scan there, that lurker would have Let loose.
Oh, he's just so ahead it might not even matter, but Zerg may somehow hold. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But
there's
yeah,
a huge stream of Marines coming around.
He did that. Zerg did as about as well as he could there, because I thought Terran would have like 10 times this at the end of this battle. He has one more scan. Oh, and he has a vessel still. Yeah. That's all she wrote.
I mean, I can't fault AOT or anyone for staying in the games a bit longer than usual, just due to the nature of it being quarterfinals. As long as it doesn't move into fantasy GG timing, we're good, and it hasn't. GG is called by AOT.
Yeah, GG.
Alright, so someone in chat has elaborated on the lava timing. I'll just get this next game loaded up first. So we're moving on to Jojo vs Zerg versus George. It's small, but there's a random countdown, and when it hits 0, it spawns a new lava. But there's a small chance that the countdown gets increased at some point, which can extend the time by like half a second or something. There's a Team Liquid thread about it. You learn something new about StarCraft every day, G5.
Well, as a programmer, it probably has something to do with just the game mechanics of, alright, like when there's three larvae, you know, and we're not making any more, there's like a re-triggering event between, you know, milliseconds that ends up like, you know, checking to see when a new larva is going to be spawned or something like that, and or whether it should start the process of spawning a new larva, or redo a countdown or time or something. There's probably some reason for it. I'm sure they didn't just put in a variance there. Put in a variance there, because
yeah,
that makes no sense.
Bugs are what makes Brutal brutal. Without them, it'd be something else. Can you imagine not having meter stacking?
I can, because I remember it. Zerg lost everything, Terran.
Right.
I remember when people didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, I wonder if there'd be a way to tweak the maps to somehow make it okay for Zerg against Terran without meter stacking.
Back in those days, I mean, every player we're watching right now would win every OSL, every Star League, every MSL, everything.
Yeah, if you could like transport yourself in time with your current skill to being in like the finals of a match against Boxer or something, do you think you'd beat him down?
I don't think I'd lose a game. You wouldn't lose a game, like depending on the year.
Yeah.
Like everyone's so much better now. It's crazy. Like if you look at like Gur and like Oops Reach and Nalra and like Choja, Green 2, Skeleton, like all those like crazy Choja, all those old school like crazy players, like they would all get smashed by B rankers today, like easily.
The ability
like,
to be innovative is more capped when your opponent's playing to handle or punish anything you do.
Boxer would he wouldn't move his screen with his mouse. He'd do it with the arrow keys.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's inefficient as fuck. Like, it's dumb. Like, I love Boxer.
Boxer's a noob is my takeaway from what you're saying here, G5. It's on the record.
I am 100% against him, so I think I could say that.
Sorry, you've played Boxer before?
Yeah, I knocked him out of a live LAN event in Korea.
Hype.
Oh yeah.
Over in the bottom left spawning is the green Zerg. We have an expatriate buddy of mine. It's George, and he's donning the name Britta Perry. You see, I'm in a study group with George. I don the name Jeff Winger in my CPL matches. He dons Britta Perry, and we got our accounts to have exactly the same MMR. So we're right next to each other in ladder. It's very cute.
Nice. That is cute.
And over in the bottom right, our
But
Protoss player Jojo.
all right. By the way, Boxer's definitely not a noob. He's #1 in the world for like 3 years, and I saw him stream recently on SK Telecom's account, and he was like 2,500, 2,600. Like, pretty
Yeah,
high S rank.
I saw Bonif matching
I
him
was
on
like,
ladder.
Jesus.
Bonif matched him on ladder on match point like half a year ago or something. And it was a really close game at Bonif actually took it, but Box is certainly no slouch, and like given his age, he'd be in like his 40s by now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and he doesn't even play anymore. Like that, he just, I think just for streamer, for sponsors every once in a while. But yeah, he's not active or anything. Like, it's crazy. Nada can do that too. Nada was insane. Like,
Yeah, well, Nada qualified for ASL a while back, remember? And he matched against Lava in his round of 24 match, and he went nukes. Did you see that game?
Nada, I did. Nada's crazy. I played a show match against Nada once, and I shit you not, like, I've never had a Terran make me feel so bad. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, he rolled me.
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was like 2010, 2009.
It's
Rolled me.
the good old days. And Jojo's going one base gas against Zerg.
Yeah, let's talk about the game. All right, so what do we have from Zerg here? Was it Overpool into? Looks like Overpool into Expo, and we got a 1 base gas. It's gonna be a later core though.
Yeah, Overpool
So
sixling, and George actually hasn't scouted Jojo yet. He's moved his Overlord directly to the natural, and it's not going to see anything
what
there.
team is each of these guys on? Because we're tied up 1-1 team wise, right?
I think so. I'll have to check it when we go back to the team score after.
Yeah, I think it's 1-1. So, all right. Zerg is going for a third. He's now just cluing in though. Oh, it's 1 base.
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, Probe's gonna block this third, or is it? Yeah, he's gonna block this third. Oh, but he's gonna save the drone with the extractor.
Right. Drone's
So
secret
those
ability.
who don't know, yeah, drones can't insta repair themselves. Just pretend to be a building for a second, and you regain all your health.
And how much
Alright,
does it cost?
so
It would be 1/4 of 50 minerals, I think.
yeah, like 12, something like that. All right, quick Stargate. So, and we got Den coming up, which is good. And there's no secrets from Zerg here. Now, as a Protoss, I can tell every Zerg here, when you see this from Protoss, there's one thing that Protoss can never stop. Do you know what it is?
Is it 2-base Muta?
Nope.
Okay, is it 2-base Hydra?
Nope.
What is it?
Masslang. 2-base Masslang with a drone drill.
Interesting.
Can never stop it.
I've seen that once, I think, in a pro game. In one of the earlier ASLs, Lava drone drilled a Protoss. It was on a map that has a in-base natural.
You'll have so many lings at this point, and drones will make it so that you actually get in their base because you just go there.
Man.
I mean, yeah, I've never seen it die.
Yeah, you're right. I've never really thought, even considered it in today's day and age, but a big fat drone drill with like 24 speedlings or something.
Yeah, I mean you're all in, so you basically send everything. But yeah, you just send that Overlord in, and you just hoorah it. Like I've never seen Protoss hold it. But you don't see. It's one of the reasons you don't see one base anymore. But yeah, so I mean Hydras are out. We're going into a macro game. Third is up. We got 3 base against 2 base, and Pross is very all in. So he's not trying to eke out a third or anything. He's just going straight into. He's getting legs and he's getting Templar Archives. Now the nice thing about getting the Templar Archives, given what Zerg is doing, is he can get a third. And you can see what Protoss is doing right now. He's looking for Overlords, making sure there's nothing on his side of the map. Because there's no lair. So he can make a couple DTs and he's safe against everything for an hour. Because it's going to take an hour for Overlords to go over, to walk, like, scooch all the way across the map. There's no OV speed for now.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good call. You know a surprising amount of ZVP when the Protoss is one base. Did you used to play one base yourself?
oh yeah, everyone did back in the day.
Back in the day before they standardized the maps to have the defendable natural.
Yeah. And before Bisu like invented Forge at fast, yeah. But yeah, so Corsairs made sure there's no overlords. He made a couple DTs, and he just knows he's safe against everything at this point. And now he can go pressure. He's not. If there's an opportunity, it looks like he's gonna. He sees an opportunity. He's gonna try to get some damage done here.
One shot, one opportunity for our Protoss player, deciding to risk it. And I don't think it's going to pay off. I think George just barely holds.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably should just forced some units out of Zerg and backed off and saved his army, but I can't blame him for seeing what he saw and thinking that. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. He looked at it and thought it would go
It kind of looked good for Jojo there as he's moving in. I think the Hydra reinforcements just popping out in time enabled him to do that.
Oh, CC's trying to get in. Also, just like Zerg pulling back to the ramp there was good because he had no SimCity. So once he created kind of like a SimCity for himself instead of the drones, he created a lot more efficiently. ET gets picked off now, so if I'm Protoss, I'm a little scared. I'd be making a couple more DTs just to be safe here, but Zerg knows DTs are out of the map, like that tech is out there, so he probably won't push just because he knows he has no vision.
Yeah, George playing quite safe here, and he's just started moving an Overlord over towards the natural the Protoss player. I don't like whenever I'm in Jojo's position here, I feel like I'm just gonna die to a huge Hydra flood because I'm not gonna have the Templars out in time. It's just a matter of how long is it gonna take for the Overlord to get there.
Yeah, so he has the Sair position where it is. A little off, but like it's there to like prevent overlords from slowly going across or to see it. But you can see from the lair time, as soon as the lair was done, he started OV speed, and it's still got a minute to go. Like Storm is actually gonna get done right before speed's gonna be done, and Frost should hold. He really should. So I think we're gonna move into like a normal game.
Yeah, it feels a bit strange, but something to be called out here is look at George's drone count. It is insane. He's up 8 drones on Jojo. I really don't like Jojo's position here.
Well, big reason for that is he was 3 hatch against 1 Nexus for a while. And Pross really isn't keeping up with making probes. But he's going in for another attack here. Seeing what he could, just poking and prod, seeing if he can get anything done. I think he kind of figures he can't get anything done, which is why he's not trying. I would agree with him, so that's smart. But him just being on the map here, clean up little things here or there. Not only does it clean up little things, but it forces units to Zerg, so it's going to be less drones.
Yeah, nice establishing some presence on the map. And he does need to move his Zolts back immediately. He'll have the Templars ready, but how about Lurkers here? I don't think we have Lurker Aspect researching.
So as Zerg, you have like two options here, right? So in my opinion, so you could also just keep going Hydra and like take a fourth, but I don't like that very much. Like, I think like your two options here are you go Lurker and set up a contain, or because you recognize that there's one Sair max, he is actually going Lurker.
He is, and Jojo's taking a risk to try to get back in this game. He's massing cannons in the top right. We've got our speed overlords that are just scouting it.
He is. Yeah, it's gonna get scouted.
And guess what? George's, is that overlord drop that he's researching?
It is.
It is. So I think this top right Nexus is actually going to get punished.
It is going to get punished. And Robo just started, so Pross isn't going to be able to move out for an hour. Alright, so Hydras are going to come see the Bajillion Cannons, and silently he's laughing to himself. Because he knows he's getting dropped. Protoss doesn't.
That Templar, he had something out for that other buddy Templar there, because he just stormed his own single Templar at the natural.
Yeah, this Lurker contains gnarly. Yeah, this is good for Zerg. But what I was saying, like, if anybody is curious, yeah, he's loading up a drop for top right. Like, you can either do this in this situation, or because there was only one Sair out, 1 or 0, and you have all those Hydras, you can just make like 11 Muta, and you just dive in, kill all the Templar, and then just run them over with Hydra.
Yeah,
boy, Jojo. Man, Jojo's gonna be sad right now.
Yeah, he is bone. There's such a big Lurker contain setup. He's just right-clicking through to the top right.
Oh no, not like this.
You know why? He did it because the dropper's gone off in the top right, and he's right-clicked his army.
That's not the answer. Oh boy, we're down to a Bajillion Templar and three Zealots.
You hate to see it.
Zealots.
You don't normally think I can just happily stroll through this Lurker field.
Yeah, he might not have recognized that there was 500 Lurkers there. Maybe he thought it was 3. Oh boy. Well, let me ask you something, Chill.
Yeah.
Break it down for us. Who's ahead in this game?
I don't know, G5. Who do you think? I think it's really close.
I think it's rude to presume.
That's why I gave a on the fence answer.
Oh boy, yeah, this is rough. So, 3 base, Zerg is about double the supply as Protoss. Upgrades, Lurker contain. Protoss is dead.
We have seen some unique things in these games. We've seen the Suicidal Goon Scout, we've seen the 007 Marine, and we've seen strolling casually through a Lurker field.
Yeah, Zerg played this good. I like it.
Yeah, George is I think he's quite a strong CVP player, and it's not like he can only just play macro game, he can mix in a lot of all-ins very well.
Look at this Dragoon at the natural.
The one behind the minerals?
No, it's like bouncing around. It was actually stuck.
Ah, it's like
Yeah, it's like stuck. There was a minute there before you just moved it where it was stuck in the Nexus and you couldn't see it.
Because it's glitching out on the probes mining the minerals.
Yeah,
As
it
long
was
as it's not
literally
happening,
in the Nexus. It was hilarious.
it's the Goon Commander. As long as your units aren't doing that on the 12 o'clock ramp on Fighting Spirit, you can still recover.
Oh yes, that does happen. All right, so loading up a Doom drop here is our Zerg player,
Yeah.
and
I kind of see Doom
boy,
drops as something that's like an all-in, but I think even if this drop was completely cleaned up, I still like George's position. And moving in some army to the Nat as he does this very, very large drop. That's a lot of units coming out. 12 overlords. There's no observers in the main at the moment. They're just coming in, and GG from Jojo.
wow,
Very solid play. Solid play by George there.
wow, GG, and I just realized something about JoJo. Can you tell something from his name?
Uh, did he have a Sweden tag on it, or is it?
Yeah, he's in Sweden B. So there we go. He took down Swedish B team. So good job to JoJo. It was JoJo, right? Who won? No, it was
It was George.
George. All right. So good job to George. All right. So Attitude Plus, George and Pandor. Man, both of them look really good.
Yeah. So it's 1-1 at the moment, and in terms of Fear Factory versus Attitude. And
Yeah.
George, just with some really solid Zerg play, played him a lot in PvZ. Let's
I
move
got a
into our
question.
second game here.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the question?
So I see 4 matches here. Uh, can you get a tie?
Can you get a tie? Well, the way it works is it's the overall team scores. So this is just the tier 0 aspect of the two teams. So you could have the tier 0 matches go to 2-2, but the overall team matches won't be a tie. I think it will
I've,
be,
oh,
I think 10-11 I think is the closest you can have in terms of the overall team
That
scores.
makes sense. That makes sense.
In the top left, we have Green Zerg playing quite a convincing game. We have George. In the bottom right, repping yellow once again, it's Jojo. Where's the 7 pull, George? Wait,
Yeah,
I just called you George, G5. That's not what the G stands for, is it?
Where's the 7 pool?
Yeah, where's the 7 pull?
Well, he talked to the Zerg from who was on his team in in the first match, and the guy's just like, yeah, bro, the 7 pool don't work on that map. Rush distance is a little bit too long to die. Thanks for looking out. So he's gonna forego it this game.
Just a note on that earlier 7 pull we saw. If he controlled his lings in the main, because he had multiple times where he had more than one speedling in the Protoss' main, I feel like that can just snowball into a victory from there.
Yeah, it's hard though. Like, if you J-Dog, like the game probably ends. But yeah, it's hard. You just have to not lose them. Like, you just have to poke and prod and keep disrupting mining and take your little probe. Take probes. Like kill probes when you can, but really the whole goal is just keep them alive more than anything, and just disrupting mining.
Yeah, looks like it's overpull against 10 gate. I think 10 gate's a good decision here. If you go 9 gate, you're not going to get too much done with the Zealot because of the rush distance. So
Yeah.
respect that choice. I think the sim looks a bit off though in the natural. Like,
This looks like a wall I'd do, which
is
ain't
that a
good.
bad sign?
Yeah, it's not good. I don't. I should look up walls. I don't. Everything's just like, yeah, yeah.
I'll just
It's
swing it.
not. This is not the best wall, but Yeah, he may make it work. We'll see how it goes. Lings are out. Looks like George is going for. I'm just gonna call him Perry. Perry's going for a quick third, and first Zealot's moving across the map. It was looking pretty standard.
Pretty stock standard. Probe getting a nice scout. He's gonna know exactly what's going on. Played the third,
Yeah.
just a tad.
Unfortunately, though, Cross has been supply blocked for a bit now.
Ah, no, he didn't build the second. He didn't build the second
Yeah.
pylon.
Zealot just died for nothing.
Well, hey, that frees up supply, does it not? When you're supply
I
locked?
was gonna say the only reason he could make a probe was because he lost the probe at top, but he's been supply blocked for quite a while now.
Yeah, and he's adding 2 cannons immediately against a Zerg that's moving to 3 base, and we have George droning here. Well, droning a little.
Are these lings gonna get in? Oh!
Oh no.
Oh, are they though?
Yes.
Oh my God! What are you doing? Probes! You guys just like looked at the lings and was like, nah, we're good off that. We're gonna go over here. Like, what horrible probes!
Slacking
Not
on the
doing their job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus, those are some white collar probes. We're like, we don't get our hands dirty here. We just crunch the numbers. Man.
You know, George,
Right.
at least like there's no link speed yet. It is researching at the moment, and we also have a den coming up for George. And if we consider that, you know, Jojo blindly added 2 cannons early and also was supply blocked, I don't like his position here.
Well, let me ask you the question of the day.
Yep.
Who's ahead?
You know, I don't want to make presumptions, G5. I don't know about you, but it's not my style.
Not the Australian. I'm kidding. Fuck, man. This gas is like really late too. So I mean, at least he's sending out a probe. All right, this is nice. If it doesn't get caught by these lings, oh, and it does. I don't see how Protoss is gonna scout Zerg for an hour.
Yeah, we can see a difference
what's happening?
here.
Do you see what's happening from Zerg?
I do. Consider how he's using these 2 lings, even with 2 zealots in the main, and compare it to that earlier game we saw where the 2 speedlings were dying to probes.
Yeah.
George, quite good control, and he's got his mileage out of those 2 lings.
He's playing really good. Yeah, not only that, but that throws Protoss off, and you see that, you know, gas was a bit late, and the Stargate was a little bit late, and the Corsair is going to be a little bit late.
Something else is it's a very economic 3-hatch.
Yeah, these Hydras are not going to get scouted. This was like a really economic 3-hatch. So, yeah, we're having Hydras come out. He is going to scout it. He's just using it for defense at the moment, but yeah, he didn't go all in with it. If he did, he probably would have crushed. But alright, so Zealots get cleaned up for basically
For nothing.
free.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these cannons finish in the main. Oh boy. I hate being in this position as Protoss. Because what you have one option here. Mass cannons. And tech's gonna be an hour late. Citadel Dune's coming down right now. That's late. Like, how you actually... Oh, my goodness. And he's just going for it. He says, I don't care. You got 1 cannon. LOL at you.
Gate is going to fall, I believe.
Oh, gate's definitely going to fall.
And we have these 3 cannons warping in, but I feel like he could even dive right now, which is exactly what he's going to do. Moving in on those cannons while the count is still a bit lower. Picking 2 off, sending Jojo further and further behind.
Oh my god, that Hydra ranges the cannon!
What? It does.
Zerg here. What's funny is like when Protoss is forced to make cans, if you catch us earlier, you can like rush speed lots and skimp on the cannons so that you have a backup plan. These cans are just so bad. I mean, Zerg's just busting this down, and I don't see how Protoss survives.
We've got some desperation probes coming out, but what can you do? You can do one thing. Type GG. Really well played by George there. I feel like there's a few things you can like take from his play. The first thing is he handled the single Zealot fine, like pretty much killed it for free. And he also would have spotted the 2 cannons warping in. Why not go into an economic 3-edge Hydra from that point?
Yeah, I mean, it was good played by Zerg. Protoss, you can't just like blunt. If he hit his timings and he got his Sarah out on time, he wouldn't have made like Kansas main and natural like for Muta. He wouldn't have. He could have put that money into gateways and quicker speed. Because you never want to rely on cans, because cans are just garbage against Hydra. You really just want them to just delay it enough for you to get Zealots out.
That's right.
But yeah, that's just rough. So, anyways, good job to George.
Yeah, very, very impressed by George. Always a pleasure to watch him, and you know, good try by Jojo. Like to see him try to optimize his early game a bit better. We're moving into our final game, or final match here.
PVT.
And it's a PVT.
Let's go, baby.
Spawning in the top right is our yellow Terran. We have Doodle Doodle. And over in the bottom right corner, our brown Protoss, Erob. So, I am familiar with Doodle Doodle. He is a Protoss main. At least he was prior to the season, and he was quite good at Protoss as well. He's like over 1900, like 1900 to 2k, I think.
Damn.
And then this season he switched to Terran, and
wow,
I matched him in pre-season. I played against his Terran, and he killed me with a 6-pack +1.
Yeah, dude, he took the easy way out. Went the easy race. It's hard playing Protoss.
Yeah, not the usual rhetoric we're used to hearing.
Well, because people listen to Artosis.
It's a shame that they do. It really is.
It really is. You know what? We used to argue about it all the time. He used to always say, we used to have a back and forth where he'd always be like, "Oh, Protoss is so easy. Just 1A, 2A, 3A. Is there anything easier than that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just press O." Like, it's easier than just pressing O, which is the hotkey for Siege. Because that's all you need to do.
The default hotkey.
Yeah, that's the default. Like, it's just, I mean, Terran, it's interesting, right? So, like, Terran basically just has to weave some bullshit in the early game and just not die to stupid shit early. Like, and it's actually not that hard to do. It's just Terrans get greedy for some reason and try to get away with stuff when really they just need to survive. Just survive, get your expo up, like move into a macro game, and literally the later the game goes, Terran just turtles. That's all that they really need to do at the simplest form is turtle. And the later the game goes, the better your army gets, and then the onus is on Protoss to come up with some way to deal with this behemoth of a mech army whether it be carriers, arbiters, storm, something. Because if you just go gateway against factory, you're gonna
You
get
can't.
stomped.
3-2
You're gonna get
mech.
stomped. Yeah, you
Yeah,
get stomped.
it's a bit of a win condition. Like, especially when the Terran gets 4 base, that's when I get really scared. Like, if they've got 3-2 and 4 base.
Yeah,
Uh,
and Terran's just like, CC first, 2 racks, 2 facts, just like 2 base all in, and they get rolled by Protoss early game, and they're like, oh my god, or they don't make turrets and DTs kill them or something. They're just like, oh, this is such a bullshit matchup. It's just like, just sit there, don't die, and have some patience, because it gets a lot easier if you just like learn how to not die early.
you know what you sound like, G5? You sound like someone who's been in a lot of balanced debates with Terran individuals.
Okay, so for years of my life, years and years and years, all day, every day, I was in a Discord channel, basically as the only Protoss. If you don't count, I'm basically the only Protoss in a Discord. Well, back then it was Ventrilo.
Yeah.
Ventrilo channel with Artosis, Hydra, Skew, sometimes Nyokin, like in the Sem. Like, especially Hydra, Artosis, and Skew, they were all just the most racist against Protoss Terrans you could get. And so I would just argue with them constantly. Constantly.
It sounds a bit tiring for me. You know what my stance on balance is? My stance on balance is that it doesn't matter at our level because there's so much more things we could do better, right? It's trivial to think about balance in my opinion. Down in the depths of down in the depths of anything below high S really.
I think that there's bullshit all throughout the game, but like certain units are just fucking crazy in situations. Like their strategies are crazy, and there's a bunch of bullshit in this game. But if you take any of that bullshit out, the game is a balance. Like all the bullshit and craziness just like balances itself out. The game actually is balanced, in my opinion. The only thing that really unbalances the game is maps.
Yeah,
And
it's good that that's
I,
something we can control as well.
yeah, I think that, maps are the only thing that really determine um, whether something's overpowered or not. Maps are just so huge, and they used to, like, if you look at like the game, like the seasons in ASL where Protoss wins, or in OSL, or just anything. Ooh, Goon's getting caught here. These are some brave tanks. Really, they're like really Protoss favored maps. Is the seasons you see Protoss really win. I think that Protoss is a race that, I think Terran's the most adaptable to all maps. Zerg's somewhat in between. Um,
And Protoss is the most dependent.
yeah, Protoss gets rewarded or fucked the most by maps. Um, so certain map pools will be just godsends for Protoss, and then others will just eliminate all of them. So it's really interesting, and that's just ground maps. Like, because if you throw in island maps, Zergs will lose all the time.
Yeah,
Um,
it's quite easy to wax poetic about balance in the races all day, but we should probably recalibrate to what's going on. Take a step back and see what's going on in this game. It looks like 3 gate obs, very safe, conservative opening from Erob. Um, Curious to see when he's going to take his third base.
yeah, that is what's curious. Is like right now when you're Terran, you have to decide: am I going for a quick third, or am I going for a 2 base all in? Given that he's getting fat armory with a +1, it should be a quick third, but the CC's not thrown down yet.
There is a medium between it though, isn't there? You can go like 4 facts and take your third as Terran as well.
You can, but you shouldn't. The only time that you should do that is when a third is so far away that you need the extra units to allow you to move out to take that third, because on certain maps where a third is super far away, it's really Protoss favored.
Yeah.
Because Terran's forced to get the 4-fact or 3-fact
Look at
and
this.
delay getting that third.
Look at this turret placement by Doodle. It's like preventing any observers from getting in. They're very well placed turrets. I think he's got
You
two
see,
observers on the far right of the map.
I
I think he might
know.
tray sending one in, or both
Yeah,
perhaps to tank the
he's
turret
gonna.
box.
Yeah, that's actually genius. What I don't like about it, yeah, he's gonna see what's going on. What I don't like about it is he doesn't see if Terran's moving out because there's nothing outside. But
Yeah.
he gets both in. He's gonna see it's a 1-base play, and this is gonna be a +1, 2-base all in from Protoss or from Terran.
This is the build that Doodle killed me with.
Yeah. Well, what do you think you should do against it? Because it's a really
Go up
strong
to like
attack.
10 gates and get Zealot speed, get maybe shuttle. You just need to churn army out, and you don't want to like rush in the tech, in my opinion, with 3 bases. It looks like he's adding a Stargate, so he wants to go into Arbors. But
Yeah.
the Archives is actually finished first. You normally want to build them together, actually. You start your Stargate and then your Archives straight after.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so you're right. I mean, he just needs goons, speed lots, pure units. And Arbiter's fine because Arbiter puts a clock on it, because if you hard counter this, Terran can just go siege up and take a third and not attack. And if you cut probes too much or you have no tech, it gets really hard. And Arbiter is the cheapest tech, late game tech that you can go. So I'm okay with it. But he just needs to churn out units, and he probably needs to transfer some probes from his main to his third.
Yeah, and Doodle
stop making probes.
Doodle's catching a glimpse of his tech. He's probably happy to see that Arbiter Tribunal going up now, a bit later than normal, and it's going up instead of... Well, the gates are being added for Eero, but it seems a little late. Like, look at the supplies here. Doodle's matching Protoss supply count and making that slow, gradual push. I think we needed those gates started up yesterday.
Yeah, Protoss is doing this alright, though. Like, he's delaying as much as he can. He needs to be just pumping Zealots. He's got an Arbiter coming. He probably should have cut probes a little bit earlier. But yeah, right now it's just the name of the game is delay this as much as you can. Oh, he's gonna pick off a tank on the left. He's gonna pick off the tanks on the left. Great play. Oh, he barely didn't get one.
Just barely, and bleeds 2 goons for his 3 goons for his trouble.
Is it gonna be 4? No. All right.
Let's remember that FS also allows the Terran to push with turrets. So you know, the Arbiter, the invisibility isn't going to be as useful as, you know, without having turrets, where you can just bleed scans.
Terran's being very efficient about this too. He's not gonna willy-nilly just 1A, 2A, 3A. He's forcing Protoss. He's slow pushing to force Protoss into attacking into him while he's set up, and he's just rallying. So this is really strong. Boy.
It feels like I'm reliving my preseason game against him here. He's good at executing it, and if you don't respond properly to a 6-pack +1, you're gonna pay.
Here we go.
So I was trying to dive in and get some mind drags. They don't really achieve much.
Yeah, this is just a little too strong. Yeah, that's gonna be game.
Yeah.
Well, that was a strong 2-base.
I'd like to see like a shuttle just dropping zealots, because a lot of Doodle's army did seem like it was kind of clumped on the mines at the back, but he just couldn't reach there.
A shuttle bomb's good with that. going around and catching reinforcements, trying to delay is also good.
Hold on. The Arbiter just used its energy, but I didn't see a stasis go down.
I don't know.
That's odd. Maybe miscast the stasis, or maybe I just didn't see it correctly.
Yeah.
That was very convincing by Doodle. Very convincing by Doodle.
GG. It was.
Moving on to our next game on Polaris Rhapsody. In our final match.
G5 is based. What does that mean? Does he mean biased?
No, it means base, like little b base god, like you're awesome kind of thing.
Oh, I've never heard that.
You don't understand the lingo of the kids these days?
Not across the pond. No.
Never heard someone say across the pond. What are these boomer references?
So them British folk, I know you're Australian, but that's what them British folks say to us Yanks. Oh, how's it going over there across the pond, eh? You know, that sort of stuff.
I see.
I can't do a British accent. Yeah.
Alright, moving on to our next game on Polaris. Got Doodle with that convincing 6-pack +1 spawning as the grey Terran, the top left, and his opponent in the blue bottom right. We've got Erob. How do you expect PDT to normally play out on this map? I feel like carriers can be leveraged quite well because of the terrain on it.
Yeah. I mean, I expect a macro game. Like, I'm not expecting a two fact. I'm not expecting a 2-base push. And if Terran tries that, I would feel confident in smashing it. But I'm not totally familiar with this map. Like, where is the third for Terran? How far away is it from the net?
It's the mineral only is what they'd normally take, so the base to the right of his natural.
It's not very far though, right?
It's not that far, but it's a mineral only, I guess. It's worth pointing out.
So, if I was Terran on this map, I'd probably just go for a 2-1 attack. Because then you can pump tanks off just 2 gas. And the tanks for 2-1's only going to be off 2 factories, and the rest is vultures, so your mineral only can support that and use rally and do a strong sort of like 2-1 off 3 base. That's how I'd play the map. When I approach like how do I think a game's gonna play out, I was looking at the opponent and think like, all right, if I was a Terran, what would I do on this map? And then what am I gonna do as Protoss to, counter that?
Yeah, I like your thinking there. I think 2-base time attacks with Terran are significantly weaker on this map just due to how you need to navigate around the terrain. You can't funnel your army through the middle bridges.
That's true. Is there bigger ways to go around?
Yeah, Polaris is, I like the way it's designed. So the fastest way to get to your opponent's base is through the middle, right? But you need to go across 2 tiny bridges. And then kind of one of the sides of your base is like somewhere, it's quite large, it's the plateau, but it takes longer to go to the plateau, it takes the longest. And then on the other side, it's somewhere in the middle. It's smaller than the plateau. It doesn't take as long. So you've kind of got the fastest way through the middle. Then on one side, it takes long, but you can move a huge army through there quite easily. And the other side is in between those, somewhere in the middle in terms of like how fast it takes to move your army and the size of the width of the area you're moving through.
Bill, have you ever been to America?
I went when I was a little kid and I don't remember anything about it, but I did go to, I think it's called Houston. I went to Houston.
Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have cousins who live in New Zealand. Have a very similar accent to you guys, and they came and lived in the States when I was in like junior high, like middle school or grammar school for you
Yeah.
guys, I guess, and then through high school. And man, I'll tell you, those women, like women and men, like Americans love Australian accents. Like they just really do. That's when I think of your accent, I think of them. I just remember how gushing everyone was over them,
Oh,
just hearing their voice.
maybe I should come to the US again.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, I do find the Kiwi or New Zealand accents very distinct from Australian, but I maybe because you're not used to it, it just kind of seems similar.
It seems similar. Like I can tell a slight difference, but yeah, it's very similar, and like no American would really like pick it up. Like it's, I don't know, they just wouldn't. They're not used to it.
Well, you did mention that you guys use grammar wrong, so I wouldn't, be surprised that you might get some other things a bit wrong as well.
Yeah, we're just some gun yielding Yanks over here across the pond, you know.
Yeah, transfer from Doodle comes in a bit later. I'm curious to see if Era will do the same thing he did last game, which was 3-gate Robo Obs. I feel like maybe you
Yeah,
don't need 3 gates when you take your third on Polaris because of the rush distance and how long it takes to move your army across. And I like the idea of taking your third a bit earlier on on this map.
yeah. Now that I see the map and how it looks, um, this looks like a super Pro's favorite map. It seems kind of crazy. Um, but and I think how I play this is Terran. I mean, he's not, but I think I go like super harass style with like drop ships and try like really screwing over the Pros early.
Yeah,
Because if this goes in a macro game, Pros has like just miles that they can counterattack or like delay, like sit on ramps and just like I don't know. It looks really hard for Terran for some reason. Like to get a big old mech army across the map looks like it would take an hour.
yeah. I'm not sure that the balance is significantly in either race's favor. This map was actually in ASL last season. It's pretty cool to see this. I think it was made in like 2010, just as Brutal was finishing up with that era and SC2 was becoming a thing, I
What's the
believe.
name of this map?
Polaris Rhapsody.
Polaris Rhapsody. Let's look at the. I'm looking it up. Pros versus Terran.
Is this the Liquidpedia statistics?
Uh huh.
Okay.
There's 109 PVTs. Who do you think's winning?
I don't like to make presumptions, G5, so you tell me.
Oh Jesus. Uh.
Your words, not mine.
Fine. Pros is ahead. Not as much as I thought it would be, but they're ahead 56%.
Okay.
So.
With the Liquidpedia statistics, I prefer to use like spawn bank statistics over those ones because Liquidpedia can cover, I guess, a range of different skill levels. But yeah, 56%.
Yeah. Man. All right. So Terran is getting a starport right now. He's getting his +1. He has 3 facts. Getting a starport. I'm curious what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna get a third behind this, but I guess we'll see. He could just go for a strong 2-base
Yeah, there's two
push.
base variants with Terran where it's like 2-1, except you max out on 2 bases.
For
I
us,
think
is
you go
thinking about.
7 factories with it as well.
Mm. Well, he is making. It looks like it may be a 2-1 with like a really late third because he wanted to get the. Is 12 o'clock a base up there?
Yeah, 12
Is that
o'clock's
mineral?
the mineral only third. And then another distinct feature is
Yeah.
the corners have double gas.
So I understand the thought process for Doodle. So he wants to do a 2-1 timing attack, but he went 3 fac before the third, and he delayed the third quite a bit because he probably figures, all right, this is really open, and this is a pretty long distance to the third, so he needs more units before he feels comfortable going out and taking that third. So it's going to be late anyways, so he's going to go ahead and get the +2 going and the third fac up and a little bit more units before making that third.
Yeah, I
So
like Doodle's build here. It's quite safe. Like the third CC is about to finish, but it's not like he's not rushing for it, and he's still getting his tech as well.
yeah, and what I don't like for Protoss, I guess, is he doesn't really know that a third's coming. I guess you may be able to guess that, but he does have an observer in his base, and it looks like he went and scouted for that third, didn't see it going up, and I don't know. If
Yeah,
I was him, I'd be a little confused. I guess I would guess that a third was coming.
because of the fact count being added late, like you would assume that there's a third from the Terran, surely. Like we're
Yeah,
only coming up to 5 facts at 10 minutes, and normally yeah. So I don't like Irob's position. You want to have started your fourth as soon as you get a glimpse of that third command center.
Yeah, he's getting some good intel, the Terran is, from with these vultures, kind of assessing where Protoss is. He knows exactly he's on 3 base. Fourth being taken top right, which if I was Terran would not expect. So that is a true hidden base.
Yeah,
Unless he wants to take bottom left too.
that is quite unexpected. I think that or it's like the 9 o'clock or almost 10 o'clock taking that base. Protoss would be equally as weird.
Yeah,
I don't really like the choice for the top right, because that's where after the Terran takes this third and it plays out a bit longer, the Terran's naturally going to want to expand to the top right corner. So for a sneak base, I'm not sure how well it'll go down.
It just insta-dies when he sees it.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't really like it. Really, I think what Protoss's major issue is he didn't recognize his third soon enough, and so the fourth is a bit late. It's out of position. He's going to take a fifth, but that's going to be a bit late too. And his biggest problem is we're going into a macro game, and he stopped making probes way too early. So he's not really fully saturated on his third, and like at this stage okay, now he's mass making some probes as natural or at top right, but really if he kept up with probe production, he could be transferring over and he'd be in a better position, I think. But as it sits, he's gonna be on 4 base against 3.
Even a pro transfer to that sacred base as well is like so risky. It's very risky in exposing it.
Yeah, you basically have to like babysit it, but he might be going in for attack here. Oh no, just bleeds off a few units. But yeah,
2-1 is now kicked in for our Terran player.
Yeah, we have Arbiter. Yeah, so 2-1's kicked in. When he moves out, I'm not sure. Arbiter's out. There's something interesting to note about that, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got +3 coming.
What's interesting to note about the Arb?
He did not get stasis.
Did he go recall first?
Recall first. So he's gonna be a little sneaky boy and recall into his main.
I think if you go stasis then recall, your recall finishes still before you have the mana to get 150 to recall, I believe.
Yeah, and stasis helps you against any timing attack.
That's right. It gives you more versatility to get stasis and recall. It doesn't really change anything because you can still cast the recall off at the.
I think the only time you should go recall first is if you're going 2-base Arbiter, because you're never gonna die to a time attack because you have so many units, and you're getting that Arbiter for a quick recall anyways.
Yeah, I think the time when you go recall first is when you have forgotten to research stasis and your arbiter's already built up a big mana pool.
And we got vultures poking and prodding, pick off some zealots here, and it kind of looks like he just wants to get rid of these vultures, which I don't mind. He's poking and prodding. I love that he used all his mines on them.
Yeah. The clock is ticking for Erob here, I feel, unless he gets off like a great recall or something.
Yeah, he needs to spend his money, make some units, but he can get a good recall off. Like, Doodle does not have a good minefield. He has good turret ring, but he doesn't have very many mines. And it looks like he's getting ready for that recall now.
Yeah, I think you can get this recall up even with all these turrets. What would make this recall defense brutal is if there were like just a bunch of mines placed directly above the turrets, because you have to recall into them.
When you see Arbiter, like, really you should just put mines all over your base, like, because you're not going to use them all anyways out on the map.
Yeah.
But here he goes, and Terran's moving out with a bunch of his army right now. When the recalls, is he gonna get it though?
Oh, he does get it off.
The what a good recall!
Too late, and it's
Terran
at the right timing, right? Doodle's moved his army out, and Erob's gonna get some work done with the recall.
Yeah, but Doodle's just saying, "Screw it! I'm moving across the map," and he's dealing with this pretty well, and he's not deterred. So and Pross isn't making units. Like, he needs to make units to get ready for this attack, because this attack's... Oh my god, it's gonna hit with 3-2. Look at this timing. +3 is hitting right now.
Right now.
What a god.
The vultures moving into the area outside. Erob's natural. Oh, he gets they trade the stasis for the EMP. I like Doodle's ability to fight from the high ground here.
I like the choice of Storm, given how this map is made.
Yeah, Money Storm going down on those tanks instantly. Second one's cast. We're gonna see a bunch of tanks go down shortly, but it's 3-2. It's 3-2 mech, and Doodle's at a higher supply.
I mean, the storms though. Oh my god, these storms! I thought he was gonna get rolled, but the storms.
Some money storms allowing him to hold a bit better there. This vessel has an EMP ready when it gets unfrozen. Oh, he's put the Templars in the shuttle. I love to see that. Can I
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Could those be better storms?
I don't think so. They were directly on the huge tank pumps, man.
That's
they were
correct.
money
The answer
storms.
is 0. But guess what he just scanned?
Did he scan the top right?
He did. He scanned the top right because he's probably thinking like, what the hell? Why am I not rolling this guy? He's on 3 bases this entire time. It's a joke. Yeah, he just scanned top right, so he knows.
Doodle's been scanning top left like the entire game, like over and over and over, looking for the 4th, and turns out is in that position that we discussed earlier where we thought the Terran can just slowly like step over to it.
I didn't realize there's 2 gas there. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, two gas being a feature of
he EMPs the Nexus. He wants that gone ASAP. He wants it gone yesterday.
These refugee probes having to drill back home.
He's saving the probes. This Vulture's been here for an hour at 3 o'clock. Has no kills. He hasn't even attempted to take that base. It's kind of funny. Man, I don't know who takes this game. I thought Doodle was in such a good position. Then Money Storm, man.
Can we see more money storms?
Oh,
What's he gonna do with his Arbiter?
Well,
A decent stasis? I would have liked to see
I
it on
mean,
that huge tank club.
there's no EMP for Templar now, so there's that.
There's that other vessel though. How much is EMP? Is it 100 mana or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100. I mean, Terran. I don't know. This is close. Terran's getting top right. Frost is bottom left. Frost does need another base. He's taking that mineral only. This is an interesting game. Who do you think's ahead here? We got 56 SCVs, 56 probes.
Well,
Exact same supply.
the bases are even, but the Terran is 3-2 mech and even on supply, so I have to default to Doodle here. If Erob had a whole bunch of other bases on top of that, then I think we can question that. But otherwise, I definitely like Doodle's position.
I'm gonna throw this to you. We got a map where Storm is king.
Good. Yeah.
Apparently, really good. I didn't even think about this on that map. With this map, but Storm's really good, and you say even base, but Pross is about to go up a base, and take a look at 12 o'clock.
It's almost mined out. So yeah, didn't catch that.
Terran's about to be on one base.
Oh, we've had a huge swing of vultures into the bottom left without only a Mer cannon to defend.
Save the probes! Save them!
The probes.
Yeah!
The probes that escaped the top right secret base now need to escape the bottom left base.
My god.
And Erob looking to try to break the top right to exchange bases. The EMP goes down on the Arbiter and we have the shuttle. Are we going to see some Templars come out for those money storms? The tanks are very well spread. Oh, he goes for the mineral line. SCV's drilled over to the gas. D-Matrix goes down on the tanks. All trying to close the distance and get onto him. Are we going to see more money storms?
Storm! Oh!
Storming right on the tanks.
Storm!
Oh my god. And the CC's going to get picked.
Right? Yeah.
Erob's accomplished a lot with this attack.
Wow. That was a great attack. And look at his bank. Terran's out of money. And 12 has like 1,000 minerals left, if that.
Erob GG's?
Wait, what?
Erob GG's?
I thought Doodle was gonna GG.
Hold on. Erob has
No.
4.4k. He has 4.4k minerals. Doodle's almost out of money. He has to start a new CC. He's not going to be mining for a while.
It's 1 a.m. I have tennis at 9 a.m. I have to go to bed. I think Erob just knew that. Didn't want to put us through another game. Thank you, brother.
Hey, G5.
Man.
Thanks so much for co-casting with me. I really appreciate it. You're a fun guy to cast with. You got a lot of knowledge. And yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, same, brother. You've been around forever, dude.
Been around for a while, man.
Yeah. Man, alright, but for real though, Erob won that game. Like, I don't know why.
Oh, I wish it played out. I really wanted to see what happened. I think Erob...
He won. He was gonna win. He was.
He had a lot of gates right. He had so much mineral bank. Yeah.
Yeah. He had mining bases, like he had a bank, he had tech, like Terran was like 40 supply, like or something like crazy. Like Terran was gonna die.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. But
final scores here, we had 260 for you, take one for Fear Factory, Pandor for Attitude Plus, George for Attitude Plus, and Doodle with Attitude Plus. So it's 3-1 in terms of the tier 0 in Attitude Plus's favor. They've done well.
Keen made those Terrans pretty strong because yeah, those Terrans look pretty good. George looked really good too. I'd love to see Pandor versus George. Those would be
I was thinking that after I saw them play as well, Pandor versus George.
Yeah, that'd be a good game.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Anyways, GG's to all the players, and thank you, Chill, for all that you do with the community and for bringing me in. Appreciate
GG's.
that.
And G5, you did come here at last minute notice, filling in for someone who couldn't make it today. So thanks for that. And I wish you all the best in that that tennis match. Just don't premature GG in the tennis matches, all right?
You literally can't with tennis, so
You can't just
it's
walk
great.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, no. All right, man. Well, you have a good one. Everyone else have a good one, and congrats to the players that won.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys. And, if you like the cast, consider following for more. And don't forget that we have a cast tomorrow as well by Nightcat, I believe. It's tier 2 or 3. Let me check that. He's casting tier 3 tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. I'll look for a channel to raid. Who do I want to raid? Terra? Terra or Quark?
Error.
Alright, I'll raid Terra. Give some
Error's
love to
always true.
Terra. Say hi. Say CPL exclamation mark in his chat. And give him some love. I'll catch you guys next time. See you.